There go Tbone, back to work.
Man,
The hardest working man. Out here doing what he got to do.
Claire got to do it. All the tubes is up. For real, man. Yeah.
They're perfect. We here with Tbone. He just got finished or still working on this electrical. Tell us what you're doing again, Tbone.
What I'm doing is I'm installing a service into a home that only had 100 amps. I'm installing 200 amps. And what I was standing here talking to O.J. Hancock about is the effect that a taser takes on a human being. Now, the taser operates at a voltage of approximately 77,000 volts. Now, sometimes it may not reach its 77,000, and sometimes it might go faster. It might go higher. So let's look at it in terms like this for me to explain it to you layman's out there. If you're talking about your car and you're on the highway cruising at 55 miles an hour, and then you suddenly go down an incline and find yourself doing 75, well, you just went 25 miles higher than where you would want to be. So, okay, now, if what you're doing 20 miles higher, the math would be, but if what you would understand would be you have went faster than you wanted to go. In the instance of the taser, should you use a taser and it's operating at 77, what happens if it goes to 84,000 volts? Now, you've seen it where they said the taser did not take an effect on a person. That's probably because it did not reach the 77,000 that they use to incapacitate your heart. There's something called afibrillation, which is nothing more than a heart attack. Heart seizing up. Defibrillation, clear. It's how they bring your heart back. One is the inflection of the heart moving outward. One of them is the heart squeezing in. If you've ever seen a movie, when they're explaining to you in terms of electrical, you see shock going on, you see a person grab something, hair go up in the air. Okay, then you see the other effect. Boom, and it throw them. So there's both effects. There are two different effects. You can get one or the other when you get electrocuted. So I am telling you, the taser will. 2 barbs stuck in your chest on either side of your heart will shut it down instantly. The young man who was killed by University of Cincinnati police, Mr. Howard was his name, was electrocuted basically.
And Kelly Brinson?
Kelly Brinson, I don't know, was he tased also?
Yeah, he was tased.
Well, then see now, if the last thing happened to me is I touch some wires and then the coroner come here, she would pronounce me dead from electrocution. I don't understand why the coroner don't just call it what it is whenever somebody's tased and say they've been electrocuted. You know, so in the case of Mr. Brinson also, the taser probably ran past its normal operating limits, which is beyond what a human body can take. So that would fall under what we call cruel and unusual punishment.
Right. So
I can't receive that in jail, but I can receive that right there when a police officer approached me.
So how do you feel about the Cincinnati police or any cop in the United States using the taser? How do you feel about a taser?
Well, a taser is a device that should be shelved. I really truly feel that no man should be doing that. Unless you want to go home and stick your hand in a socket and feel what I'm talking about, screw out a light bulb and stick your hand in it. If you're not trying to do none of that, why would you want to be tased? I don't think the taser should be used in any instance. I don't think it should be used. It's unregulated electricity, and then you don't know who you're tasing. Are you tasing someone who might just happen to be having a pacemaker? Or are you tasing someone who has had open heart surgery? Or are you tasing an individual who may have a metal device in his heart called a stent, and therefore when the juice comes through that stent gets hot and burns that valve in that heart? Are you tasing a person who may have a breathing condition? So you shutting down different systems that a person need to live on? I mean, just because it's easy to go poop. I think the taser is being used as a convenience item. And they're not thinking about the public safety on that one.
Okay. Anything you want to say to Nathan Ivey and the real Terrence Howard?
Oh, shouts out to Nathan Ivey and the real Terrence Howard all the time for holding it down like they do. Terrence Howard on the ones and twos and Nate with that great flow. You know, the superlative flow that Nate Ivey puts down every day. Man, I say it all the time. In syndication all around the nation, Nathan Ivey. You know, but I think I'm selling him short because, you know, he ain't no girl. He's a big man and his show should be heard all around the world. You know, I'm Tbone on the throne, and sometimes I think I got it going on.
All right, Tbone.